Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another episode review. I am GarudaPhoenix.
And I'm Radiant.
Wow, I feel extra spicy today. Okay, well, I know why I feel like extra spicy now because our episodes are now up on YouTube.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
always nice.
so by the time this comes out, hopefully I've managed to fix some of the tagging issues, but regardless, they're out there. Go listen to them, please. Please. Someone, please listen to them.
It would be nice.
Yes, it would be very nice. Okay, so today's episode, Griffon the Brush Off. So before we actually start talking about this, what was your previous experience with the episode? I think from future episodes and now we're probably going to discuss. Have you got like a special experience with this particular episode?
Not really. It was just when I started watching, I was binge watching the first season. So it came and I watched it and it was good.
So it
And
was
yeah.
it was like the early part where it was like, okay, watch next, watch next.
Yeah.
Okay, this one, I don't know. For some reason, this was one of the episodes where I I think that were one of the more mediocre ones, but then when I actually go back and watch it, I'm like, it never fails to surprise me how good it actually is. Well, I hope a little spoiler about how I feel towards the end, but anywho, let's dig in. So I think by this time we kind of have like our character biases coming into this episode, right?
Yeah.
So the first voice we hear is Pinkie Pie's voice, and she's commentating on Rainbow Dash's flying, right?
Yeah.
And I can already say, literally 2 words in, she's already better than 99% of any sports color commentators.
Yeah, she's pretty good. Though I think having a team of writers writing your dialogue will actually help with that.
Yeah, credit to Andrea Libman. She does it really well.
Hmm.
She's better than John Madden, better than Chris Collinsworth, better than Joe Buck, all of the people. Just saying. But the thing is, she's going on and on and on, and it kind of hit me retroactively that she's acting like my little brother. I would classify it as annoying, when he wouldn't literally never leave me alone. So
Hmm.
Twilight's there reading, right?
Yeah.
I'm like, I feel you, Twilight. I know exactly how that feels.
Well, she kind of raised Spike. I'm sure she knows how to deal with noise going on around her.
Yeah. So it's like you're surrounded by this annoying presence, right?
Hmm.
And then you breathe a sigh of relief when that annoying presence basically diverts its attention somewhere else. You're like, oh God, finally.
Like, I'm sure Twilight prefers silence more than anything else when she's reading.
Hmm.
But I think she's one of those ponies who can multitask, in which she's kind of paying attention to Pinkie, but really just more paying attention to the book. And she can do that.
Yeah. I think, yeah, I'll actually agree with you, Alex, in the fact that if you're trying to do like a solitary activity, having someone being there annoying, it's very, very distracting, especially if it's something pretty important or requires a lot of your attention. So it's
I
it's
mean,
it's
I do it with my friends all the time, and it really doesn't bother me. So,
mhm.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Guess it depends on who you are.
Okay, so Pinkie Pie spots Rainbow Dash, right? So she's
Hmm.
flying overhead and she hops away
Yes.
and she's trying to catch Rainbow Dash's attention.
Hmm.
And Rainbow Dash is acting like Twilight is actually. So she's like, not again. So, quick question. Again? So this has happened before?
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure it has happened before. I mean, Pinkie Pie seems like she really wants to be friends with Rainbow Dash.
Mm. And then, do you blame what happens to Rainbow Dash on Pinkie Pie? Because Pinkie Pie is the sole distraction to Rainbow Dash right now, to the point where, because of Pinkie Pie, she smacks face first into the cliff.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's definitely Pinkie's fault, but I think we're working off of some cartoon stuff going down.
Yeah.
In which, if this was real, Rainbow Dash would have gone splat and been in the hospital, but we're good.
I don't know. It's almost like the watch out for the thing. What like you're actively telling someone like watch out for the thing, and then you fall into the thing, and it's like I told you to watch out for the thing. Like I wouldn't have fallen into the thing if you didn't kept bugging me about it.
Or maybe if they were just like being really
Oh yeah,
like abstinent.
that's the reference. Thanks, Alex. George of the Jungle. There we go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. George of the Jungle. Watch out for that.
No. Just no.
So after we come out of the theme, we go back to Pinkie Pie, and this kind of establishes like a where this episode is Pinkie centric. We're going to explore her character, who she really is, and her relationships, right?
Yeah.
And she's going around town humming, right? Have you ever known a person whose humming was so loud that it kind of grates? You know, it's like you kind of hear it and you're like,
I mean, I'm generally okay with people humming. It means they're happy.
but it's like obnoxiously loud.
It depends on what I'm doing. Like if I'm trying to do homework and they're, trying to be happy and peppy, I'd be just like, no. Can you do that some other time?
Yeah,
But
that's what I'm saying. So, Rainbow Dash is trying to get a snooze in. She's up in the clouds, right?
yeah.
And the humming is distracting enough to the point where she's annoyed. I've had people like that. People who I would put it lightly, didn't know how to take a hint.
Yeah. I think we have all met one of those.
Okay, so uh okay, we have another derpy sighting. She still has correct eyes. She's at the carrot stand, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she's at the vegetable stand and she has correct eyes. So,
Yeah, good for her.
and wait a minute. Is the pony running the stand is the same like model flash model as the other pony who's buying the thing? Because that's what I'm looking at.
I I didn't notice that.
Yeah, it's the same
Maybe.
model, just different colors. It's the early DHX syndrome. So, yep.
So anyway, the chase commences.
Yep.
Pinkie
I didn't
Pie.
okay, here's before the chase starts, I want to point out Rainbow Dash isn't particularly good at hide and seek, right? Because she's hiding in the cloud with her butt sticking up in the air.
Mm-hmm.
That's not a good strategy.
No, it's not.
It's
But
like,
she's hoping that there goes through the whole strategy of nobody looks up.
and I have to say the faces in this chase, hilarious. it's
Yeah,
it's
they're pretty funny.
yeah, they're pretty funny.
Mm-hmm.
And I love the musical dissonance, and because when Rainbow Dash is flying at the speed of sound, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, not
There's
yet.
like the
Not yet.
rock theme.
She didn't break the sound barrier, so.
Okay, so she's flying, right? And we hear this musical rock theme, which we could attribute as Rainbow Dash's theme, and then there's Pinkie Pie, and she's it's kind of like a shout out to Warner Brothers level humor, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, what is that? Okay, what was that old Warner Brothers cartoon about
The
that?
Animaniacs.
No, about that skunk who tried to sexually harass a cat.
Wait, yeah, that was a Looney Tune. That was Pierre.
Yeah,
Pepe Le
Pierre, who always tried to seduce a cat.
Pepe
It's the
Pepe
same type
Pepe
of
Le
deal.
Pew.
What?
Alex is right. Pepe Le Pew.
Pepe Le Pew?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, yeah. This is a shout out to that. Remember when Pepe would run after the cat, he would always do the hopping motion, doing
Mm-hmm.
doing. Say it. It just got to me. Like
Mm-hmm.
this is exactly like that. And no matter what the cat would try to do, like to keep Pepe away, it would always spectacularly fail.
Mm-hmm.
So
So sad for that guy.
shout out to the Warner Brothers cartoons, right?
Mm-hmm. The Looney Tunes.
Yep. And so I mean the chase kind of goes on for a while, and it's funny, but then at least Rainbow Dash knows when to call it quits.
She's just like, I just lost. I'm not okay with this.
Yeah. She even her intense competitiveness can't knows when she's beat. She can't beat Pinky.
Mm-hmm.
So at this point, have we established what Pinky is? Because she's like this random pony, like she's kind of random personality wise, but then she does like really random stuff. Like she seems to
Mm-hmm.
be able to bend the laws of space and time, and it seems that there is a little more to her than what we
Yeah.
think of her as, like the random girl.
Yeah, but this is only the 5th episode, so, and we've pretty much shown that she's an Earth pony. She's a baker. She's really happy. She likes throwing parties, and she has this way of bending logic, but generally okay.
Yeah, I will not dismiss this as a cartoon gag. Pinkie Pie has some metaphysical things going on, and I'm not going to let that go. All right,
All right.
I'm not passing that up.
Well, let's get more
Yeah.
into it. So
Pinkie Pie recruits Rainbow Dash to play a prank, and it's basically a scare prank, a simple scare prank to Spike. Oh, poor Spike.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just man. I mean, it's a scare to induce hiccups, right? So.
Well, I mean, I don't think that was their intention, but it was like a bonus.
Oh yeah,
Thing.
it is. It is. I don't know. I never personally experienced this, so I'm thinking that's a thing where you get scared
It
enough
is a
that you
thing.
get hiccups.
Yeah, it's a
Or
thing.
startled, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And poor Spike. He's just trying to do his job and sending the letters back to Celestia again.
Spam email.
I want to make a "you've got mail" joke, but
You just did. Anyway.
Before we move on, about this little scene about Spike sending the letters to Celestia, I did read a fan fiction once where Twilight accidentally gave Spike the wrong thing, and what Spike sent was like a fanfic, self-insert smut,
Mm-hmm.
and she accidentally sent it to Celestia, and Twilight was freaking out, a la Lesson Zero. It was
Mm-hmm.
funny, but uh, so when Spike hiccups, he burps and burps out his magical flame thingy, right?
Well, he doesn't really burp. He just releases flame,
Mm-hmm.
and that's what sends it.
Yeah, so it's the flame that sends the letter back to Celestia.
Yeah.
So I'm just thinking about the hiccup reactions, but Pinky's, when she gets startled, she hiccups, her entire head contorts.
Mm-hmm.
How is it? What?
I don't know. Pinkie Pie is just weird. It's okay.
I'm not okay with this. I just this it's something, it's one thing for, like when we discussed last episode about the structure Rainbow Dash built to help her with her stunts.
Mm-hmm.
It's another thing for an entire pony to do that, like a character to do that, So I don't know. Pinkie Pie's making me slightly uncomfortable,
All right.
just metaphysically.
That's
And
fine, but it's a cartoon about multicolored ponies.
okay, let's just move on. Let's just move on. Okay,
I
so
think you're trying to push way too much into this.
it's my job. It's why I'm here. My job. Okay, so now we kind of realize, like, okay, this is an establishing relationship. So we get to see the relationship between Pinky and Rainbow Dash, right? So
Yeah, they go in a pranking montage.
yeah, pranking montage, sneezing powder on Rarity,
Invisible
and
ink for Twilight.
yep. And painting apples. Okay, I have some concerns about this because
Yeah.
painting apples, like, okay, all of the apples are painted very intricately, right?
Mhm.
I'm thinking, like, that's a lot of time and paint.
Yeah. I don't know when they decided to do this, but I don't know. Maybe Pinkie Pie used one of her party cannons, and through the magic that is Pinkie Pie, they managed to
Well, I
do it
mean,
pretty quick.
they have the color palettes, right? So I'm thinking they individually Easter egg painted all of the apples. I'm like, I'll applaud them for their effort. I won't applaud it for its practicality.
Well, you have the two fastest ponies in Equestria, so
Yep. Okay. So are we going to use they magically bend the laws of space and time?
yeah, and you're just looking into it.
Okay. Okay. All right. I'll
Yeah.
give it a
So.
pass.
Mhm.
And so the fourth prank is they basically have like a toy turtle sitting at the pond where Fluttershy is at,
Mhm.
and even Pinky knows that pranking Fluttershy is off limits.
Yeah. Yeah, she does have some sensibility.
Yeah, good on you, Pinky. Like it's like you don't have to push the stereotype. Like this is one thing I appreciate. It's like it kind of adds a dimension to the character. So it's like, oh, I'm not just like a one note. I'm the prankster, but like, oh, I care about this person. I know this person. So what I would do, I would act slightly different around this person. So
Like, I know
it's
where the line needs to be drawn.
yes, yes. Thank you. Uh, like it, like this is like a little thing. It's a little nuance that I appreciate. That's kind of lacking in a lot of cartoons, really. So good on you, Lauren. Good on you. One thing to say about the pranks that they've pulled, right?
Mhm.
They're pretty much harmless, right?
Yeah.
And then when you look into like YouTube and all of that, some of the pranks you see on there are utterly despicable.
Mhm.
I think maybe you've heard about the whole Sam Pepper fiasco about the one where a dude thought his best friend got shot in the head.
Oh, nasty.
Yeah, it was pretty terrible. I'm just saying, like, all of these pranks are good pranks, something that we kind of really need to get back into, like harmless pranks, where it's not going to emotionally scar someone permanently.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Yeah, it's my 2 cents on the thing. Okay, so there's a new day, and holy
Pinky's
moly, there's
walking.
there's a new character up in Rainbow,
Yay.
and shoot, who and what are you?
She's a griffin. It's kind of in the episode title.
Yep. Well, I guess I should have seen that coming, but uh so I mean, great. We have a new species, right?
Yeah.
Expanding the world. Yay.
Mhm.
So, I mean, we kind of see that since they went to flight camp together, we kind of like they share like the same competitive spirit. And Pinkie Pie's doing the thing again, the thing, hang around until she becomes annoying.
Well, she's not trying to be annoying. She's just trying to be with her friend, and she's trying to actually talk to Gilda and get to know her, and be a good pony and all that. And Gilda's kind of giving her the cold shoulder on that one.
No, no, no. I'm totally on Pinky's side, but it's just like, oh, this is almost identical to what happened earlier in the episode before the theme, but
Mhm.
I'm kind of on Pinky's side right now where I don't think she's annoying and
Mhm.
where I think it's almost unfair to say that Gilda's literally being served on a platter labeled bad guy or the antagonist of this episode. And
Mhm.
so we automatically side with Pinky just because everything Gilda does is, would rub a sensible person the wrong way.
It depends. I guess like a personality like Gilda, yeah, that Pinky's like really open and like over really friendly personality would kind of rub her the wrong way. I think it was like pretty much the same with Twilight, only Twilight wasn't like physically aggressive. It was kind of like Twilight blew her off too, because she wasn't okay with like this open and friendly personality. But
Sure, but I think it's kind of like a different tone in where every given opportunity she's on screen, she's being painted with the "you're the villain" brush, you know?
yeah, and it's
It's
unfortunate because we could have made a really
yeah, so Gilda seems to be the character that's more one note,
just
the
evil.
yeah,
Well, not evil, but
the
a
jerk.
jerk.
Yeah, the jerk essentially. She's the jerk of the episode.
Give her an apple to eat.
Yeah. Okay, so there's a trampoline scene where Pinkie Pie's bouncing on a trampoline.
Hmm.
Uh, how high do you think that she's jumping? Because that's a pretty impressive trampoline, and we can go into pony physics, but I don't think we have the time to.
Hmm. It's pretty. It's she's bouncing pretty high.
Yeah, but she's Pinkie. I don't. You know what? If she can bend the laws of space and time, I think a trampoline is an injury from a trampoline is probably the least of my worries.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. I mean, she's light enough to float with how many balloons is that?
I don't know. I wasn't counting them.
X number of balloons. And Gilda's just being a jerk. It's like, oh, she's bouncing on trampolines.
How
Let's
dare she?
yeah, how dare she? She came up with balloons. I'm gonna pop them and make her float back to the ground. And then what is this contraption?
I don't know.
It's like
Eh,
it's like a personal one man helicopter, but I don't know. Can you build this thing?
Theoretically, yes.
Practically?
I haven't tried.
Would you So that's pretty much your project from now on, try to build that monstrosity of a thing that could it has like a bicycle pedals and stuff, but there's like
Hmm.
four of them for a pony, which is I felt it was kind of cute.
Hmm.
So, I don't know. Maybe it's a technological mystery in Equestria we will never be able to solve. You
Pinkie
know?
Pie is just a secret genius. It's okay.
hmm Oh yeah, and Alex, it did feel very Da Vinci like. It had like the propeller. I think it's just pretty much the propeller and like the manual labor to kind of like power the machine.
Oh yeah, it would take a lot of like physical strength to continue pedaling at a speed to repel yourself.
Uh-huh. So let's see. At this point, we pretty much figured, yeah, Gilda's a jerk. And I feel for Pinky. Despite her bending space and time, her character it kind of speaks to me. It's like, oh man, what do I do with this person who's a jerk and is so am I secretly the problem, or is it really Gilda? And that conflict kind of, adds to the character, which is great.
Yeah, and Twilight kind of pushes that whole like maybe I'm the problem
Yeah,
it thinking
that's
along.
yeah. I'm just saying, like, normally, like, honestly, it kind of makes me feel bad because if someone acted to me like, I would think, wow, what a jerk, and I would like, avoid them or you know retaliate to some point. But good on Pinky. She's like, you know what? I want to know why this is, which is pretty.
Yeah, she goes to a friend's event. She doesn't actively act out against Gilda. She goes to a friend's event, and when like the friend says, you need to kind of calm down, like give her another shot. Pinkie Pie takes that to heart.
Yeah, it's yeah. Alex, you agree pretty much. It was a very real moment. It's like, wow, maybe I should do that. Maybe I should take a chill pill if I have a negative experience. I kind of like, think it over and let's just talk it out and figure out what to do.
Hmm.
And these are like some of the lessons in this episode that kind of surprised me. That's why this show is so great for an older demographic. Because it's so real. It
Yeah,
it's so real. It speaks to why you still kind of face these problems as an adult, but a kids show is telling us how to deal with it properly. It's like, whoa, okay, this is pretty. I know it's a revelation almost.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So, anyways, Pinkie
Yeah.
Pie is.
Oh, I have to salute Spike for the green with envy, actually pink with envy line. So salute Spike. At least you know how to take a joke or make a joke, really.
Meh.
Yeah. Wah, wah. And once again, compliment the facial animations because they are really, really good. I don't think I've seen facial animations this good until season 4.
Yeah, they were pretty good.
They were great in this episode. And then we kind of get to see Gilda being, extra jerky.
Yeah, because Rainbow Dash isn't there.
She's not there, she's, being mean, stealing. I'm like, wow, okay, you're really pushing the jerk train along.
Mm-hmm.
And then you commit the unpardonable sin.
Yeah. You don't pick on Fluttershy.
No one picks on Fluttershy. I mean, that's pretty much like a death sentence already. Like you're pretty bad, but this makes you literally irredeemable. I don't know. Thoughts?
Like, irredeemable, I don't know, but it's like that's where something snaps. Like, you make Fluttershy cry, we're gonna have words.
I mean, that's low for Pinky standards. That's low. That's a low blow.
Well, I think it's more for, like, Pinkie Pie doesn't want her friends to be upset. Like, it is definitely really low for what Gilda did to Fluttershy. But
Yeah.
as far as irredeemable, it's like, okay, we can bounce back from that. But it's going to be a little hard.
Well, I don't know. And it kind of also spawned the meme about if you make Fluttershy cry, you're pretty much like the jerkiest of all jerks.
Hmm.
Yeah. So, yay for establishing a meme.
So what Pinkie Pie decides to take action, and the action she decides to take is throw a party.
Yay. Well, Pinky gonna pink, am I right?
Yeah, I mean, why fault the system when it works?
Like, I don't know. Like, it's like, I'm going to expose Gilda for who she really is. Let's throw you a party. I'm like, wait, I had a different, uh, I, what? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I had a different idea in mind, but you know what? You're Pinky. Let's see what you got.
Mm-hmm.
And so, Gilda, I don't know. It's like, man. Oh, right. Here's a thing where Fluttershy confronts Pinky about, why are we even throwing a party for Gilda anyway?
Mm-hmm.
And the the year older than you line.
Yeah.
Ah! Age debates. We will discuss that literally for hours on end. We'll save that content for another episode.
Yep.
Here's one thing though. It's like when Gilda's being introduced at the party, right?
Yeah.
Wouldn't some ponies know that she was literally being mean to Fluttershy, I don't know, what, an hour ago?
I don't know. I don't know who Pinkie Pie invited, and I don't know how many ponies are in this town, but it was definitely not the entire town.
Yeah, I'm just saying, there were witnesses of Gilda being mean.
Yeah.
There were witnesses. We saw what you did. You can't escape. We know what you did.
I'm sure.
We know what you did.
Yeah.
I don't think Gilda's with the Mafia. She'd talk with a heavier New York accent.
Fair enough.
Yeah. But I mean Gilda's been a jerk this episode and she gets her plate handed back to her hard.
Yeah.
The lemon drops, the dribble glass, the candles, pin the tail, everything that could possibly go wrong does go wrong. I mean, honestly, I was with Gilda like, you know what? Pinkie Pie set this up. You know what?
Yeah.
Pinky, you're
Just like
this is
subtle
kind of,
revenge.
yeah, this is some form of revenge, but it's, you know what? Gilda kind of deserved it.
Yeah.
Maybe, right? I mean, she was a jerk. This is kind of like karmic retribution. So we don't really feel bad about this stuff, right?
No, not at all.
Until the moment Rainbow Dash reveals that those were her pranks.
Yeah, after Gilda blew up at Pinky.
Oh yeah. Oh, oh, truth bomb right there.
Hmm.
Boom. I'm like, wow, I'm a jerk for
Hmm.
thinking that Pinkie Pie would stoop that low to revenge prank Gilda.
Yeah,
I mean,
like,
even revenge pranking Gilda isn't as bad as what Gilda actually did. But then it makes me feel bad that I that's something I would do if I was
yeah.
Pinky. And I was like, oh, I feel terrible because I'm a terrible person.
Yeah, this episode shows us what kind of moral ground Pinky stands on, and it's a really nice moral ground. Like, you can really look up to this.
Yeah, absolutely. This is something like this adds I'd say like this episode is one of the ones that kind of surprised me because the depth of character that Pinkie Pie displays here is remarkable. It's outstanding and it's like wow. Like the potential for character depth is so great. I'm just blown away.
Yeah, it's like she's not oblivious to Gilda's meanness, but she's like, okay, so maybe we can work this out and kind of be friends. We can find our even ground.
Yeah, and that's literally Pinkie Pie's intentions for the party.
Yeah,
But Gilda took it the wrong way with all the pranks. Like, oh, you're just revenge pranking me, and tries to call, Pinkie out. But
yeah.
Rainbow Dash pretty much like calls it back on her. It's like, you know what? You really are a jerk. And here's an like maybe this is a little gripe. If Pinkie Pie really wanted to have the party be to improve Gilda's attitude, right? Those were her exact words.
Hmm.
Why would Rainbow Dash want to set up these pranks if it really was going to expose Gilda who for who she really was?
I don't think Rainbow Dash and Pinkie Pie were communicating on that note.
Because if they were into some respect, then it would be like, oh, this was a revenge prank thing. But it's clear
Mhm.
that they didn't, right? It's almost like Rainbow Dash had seedier intentions.
No, because Rainbow Dash says that she just booby trapped the party, and Gilda happened to set all the traps off.
Oh, right, yeah, because the booby trap could have been set off by anyone. So it would have been like, oh, you triggered the candles, you got the lemon drops, and you got the dribble glass.
Yeah.
It just so happened that Gilda, yeah, I missed that. I apologize. So it was just I guess it wasn't purposely for Gilda to trip up. Gilda was just being a dum dum.
Yeah.
I mean, at this point, can anyone say that Gilda's a good character and do we want to see her back after she storms off?
I think everybody wants a redemption arc.
Really? I don't know. The way she acted, I guess it's like she was a character once and then do we want to see her back after the way she acted? I guess with enough time that's separated from this appearance to the next, you kind of want to see her back, but then immediately after it's like, do we want to see her back? No. Like, do we want to see Gilda come back? So she's pretty much shown her true colors, right?
Yeah, but I mean, I think it's like everybody's like, well, maybe she'll come back and her and Rainbow Dash can talk it out, figure out why they changed. It could be a really touching scene.
Yeah, but I felt like we saw something akin to burning bridges, don't you think?
Just a little bit.
It's like if you think my friends are lame, then you can just go hang out with other non-lame people. It's like I felt this was a more dramatic moment than it kind of turned out to be.
Yeah.
It's not often where for a show about friendship, we get to see a friendship being broken like that.
Yeah, and I think that goes to also show, like, people grow up, age, and the friends you're best friends forever with in second grade aren't going to be the people who are there in the long run. I mean,
Yeah.
if they are, great for you, but more often than not, you have an entirely different set of friends by the time you're in high school.
Yeah. Like that's not to say like if you like it's not it isn't it speaks badly if you have like a childhood friend growing up. It's just like people change. It's the nature of humans, really.
Yeah, like I mean, it doesn't make that friendship you had any less real. It just when people change, sometimes they just don't click anymore,
Yeah, I
and that's
definitely
okay.
yeah, I definitely agree with that. So,
Hmm.
do we want to see Gilda come back?
Not particularly.
Like just like not saying like cuz like several seasons removed, we kind of want to see her come back, but immediately in the moment, do we want to see her come back in an episode later in the season maybe?
No, not really.
Not really?
Yeah, like
Yeah, I'm kind of
give her
feeling the
time.
same way.
Give her time.
Yeah, I mean, just give her time, or I just don't want to see her be the, I don't know, the antagonist really
Hmm.
in the future episodes. That's kind of the reason why I don't want her back. But um, yeah, but it also kind of proves that like in these smaller scale antagonists, like not including Nightmare Moon, that you know redemption may not always be an option, or they may not even choose it as an option, really.
Yeah, like it all comes down to Pony's choices, and sometimes they don't choose what you would like them to choose.
That's very true. That's very true. And really, that's the end of the episode. And
Hmm.
I finished watching it and I was like, this was the realest episode I've seen in practically forever.
Hmm.
Like I didn't remember this episode being so real. And that is why, it kind of like spoke to me. I'm like, some of the lessons that they've taught here about, you know what, give this person the benefit of the doubt,
Hmm.
don't judge them too early, don't be prejudiced, don't be this that the other, have an outlook like Pinky's, put your best effort to befriend them even though they pretty much will thwart every attempt to do so. It's
Hmm.
like I'm guilty of not doing that, and
Yeah.
it's like, wow, this was so real, and that's why uh I have to give this episode 9.5. You know what? Forget it. I'll round it up. 10 out of 10. Best episode I've seen so far.
I'm gonna give it a 9 out of 10.
9 out of 10. What was missing for you?
Well, it's just more on the lines that I really didn't like watching Gilda.
Oh,
Kind of thing. It was like
Gilda
it
took it
kind of
away.
got to like an uncomfortable level.
Yeah,
Like
but I think I would argue that it was almost necessary for the episode.
it got what it needed to get done just fine. But I mean, it's
It could have been handled more subtly.
yeah.
Yeah, I would agree with that, but I think the impact I took away from the episode kind of overshadowed that. But yeah,
Mm-hmm.
so yes, 10 out of 10 Griffin feathers. Thank you, Alex.
Good for you.
10 out of 10. So this concludes Griffin the Brush Off. Wow, I didn't expect this episode to be that great, but I was wrong.
It's pretty good. You can
Yes.
always be wrong.
Which actually, I'm great if I'm wrong. I'm great. It's like, wow, my mind has expanded. So, next week, what episode are we reviewing?
Season 1, episode 6, which would
Is that the
be
Trixie
yeah,
one?
I think that's Ghostbusters.
Ghostbusters? Hey, who you gonna call?
I'm not calling Trixie.
Call anybody but Trixie. Uh, I think we should watch the episode just clear of bias. Whenever we do, we just have to clear ourselves of like Trixie bias because I know a lot of us don't like her.
Hmm.
So I think we should just clear out the bias first and just watch it with an open mind again.
Well, that's my intention.
Yeah, that's pretty much why how I watched this episode. So I'm looking forward to it because oh boy, Trixie, if there was controversial character, you know, labeled anywhere in the show, Trixie is the very definition of controversial.
Yeah, we're gonna have fun with Trixie. It's gonna be great.
Oh, I'm gonna rip her to shreds.
Ooh, you're
Maybe.
violent.
Well, I'm like analytically wise. I'm just saying.
Fair
I'm
enough.
just going
Fair
to
enough.
deconstruct her character very intricately.
Okay. Okay.
So, yes, Ghostbusters will be on next episode. So, that's pretty much it. Thank you for listening.
Till
We are
next week.
recording this on the 28th of February, 2016. You know, just a nice date log there, almost like the Star Trek date logging. I don't know. It's
Oh, we're
it's
good.
it's a good habit to make. So anyway, this is GarudaPhoenix signing off.
And I'm Radiant. Goodbye, everybody.